Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. All right, so I'm gonna do something that's extremely difficult for me to do with making videos, and that is not edit this video at all. That's tough because my style of content creation, what I do as a YouTuber, yes, I said it, and I really do feel that I have earned that title. With 200 and some odd videos, I believe I can call myself a content creator, YouTuber. I don't think it has anything to do with your subscriber count, although I do believe anything over 600 is a hefty amount of people that have subscribed to watch anybody do what they do making videos. But for me, as a content creator and somebody that does this, I like to edit. Editing is part of the whole gig for me. So editing a video, you know, splicing things together, taking them apart, putting clips here, putting clips there, it's a creative outlet for me with videos. So it's gonna be really hard for me not to do that. I also like to edit out, you know, words like and like and stuff like that. So for me not to do that it's not easy. It's very, very difficult. But what I wanted to talk about in this video, we've got our video coming out on Sunday, which is gonna be all about benlari, my partnership with them. We're doing a product review. We're gonna do a giveaway. I am not necessarily sponsored by benlari, but I do have a partnership with benlari where the stuff that I get from them to review is based on, they want my honest opinion. Obviously, it's getting their stuff in front of other motorcyclists such as yourself. And if it sucks, I'll let them know. But I've had nothing but great success with all the products that they've sent me in the past. Really do like the stuff, and that's why I kind of support it. But I do have a partnership with them, so this is not stuff that I'm purchasing on my own. But I would definitely buy these items with my own money if I did not have a partnership with them. So benlari, thank you so much for everything. I do appreciate everything. And I also appreciate you guys with the email that you just sent me recently, allowing me to take as much time as I need to grieve and get over the loss of a loved one. Although I really feel like it's, you know, just get back in there. That's the best way to do it. So that's gonna come out Sunday. So that'll be cool. There's a giveaway happening. I'm gonna explain to you how you can be a part of that. It's all good. What I wanna talk about in this video though is, I've said it a few times in a couple of videos about how, you know, my motorcycle is my only means of transportation. And I got to thinking about it today because something happened at work. This morning it was really, really cold, 35 degrees. I'm from Michigan. Cold usually doesn't bother me, but after living in Texas for 2 years, my blood's getting a little, you know, thin, so to speak. So it was a really, really cold ride into work this morning. Scenery was beautiful, everything was great, but it was cold. One of my coworkers had asked me, this morning after I got there, they were like, you know, Robbie, when are you gonna stop riding your bike to work? And I just looked at her kind of like blankly, like with this just look on my face. And I said, I'm not, it's my only means of transportation. Then I went from the office building we work in to another building on the grounds where the refrigerator is to go grab a Red Bull because, you know, I was tired and shit. And those moments for me are really difficult because after I make a statement like that, I tend to think about it. Like, damn, did I come across as an asshole? Did I sound like a dick? I like to think of myself as a pretty decent guy. I'm not like goody two-shoes, but I'm also not an asshole. At least I don't think I am. I'm sure out there in somebody's life and world, I am the villain and they just despise of me and I'm an asshole, and that's fine. But for the most part, I'm a pretty nice guy. Maybe, am I overthinking that stuff? I don't know. Leave me a comment, let me know, maybe I am. But it bugged me, so I walked back in, you know, to the office and I just looked at her and I was like, hey, I didn't mean to come across as a dick or sound like an asshole or anything, but yeah, my motorcycle really is my only means of transportation. And then I got to thinking, like, man, it's crazy. I've never really like categorized myself as like a true biker, you know, because there's like compartments and like cliques and verbiage and definitions for who's a real biker. You know, like if you ride your motorcycle only on the weekends, or if you trailer your bike to Sturgis, you're not a real biker. I think that's bullshit. You know, you can trailer your bike wherever the hell you want to and ride it at your destination. You don't have to ride there every time. I've done both options. I have done. I've ridden my motorcycle right here behind me, the Hulk, to Sturgis and back from, you know, where I took off from. And I've also trailered the Hulk out to Sturgis. And both times were equally as enjoyable. For me, luckily, you know, the ride out there, it didn't rain once on the way there. It didn't rain once in Sturgis, and it didn't rain once on the way back, which, phew, that was amazing. I'll edit that burp out. But I don't think just because you don't ride your bike every day does not make you a biker. Anybody that's on two wheels, it's a motorcycle enthusiast. You're a biker. You ride a bike, right? Like that. Somebody out there is gonna disagree with me. Keyboard warriors, go ahead, light me up. Leave a comment, good, bad, or ugly. It helps the channel either way. By the way, if you enjoy my content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you be a part of the Stiff Rides crew if you enjoy what we're doing here. So yeah, it was weird because then I'm like thinking about it, like shit, man. I really like I'm a full-blown biker. I'm on my bike every single day. I ride to work in the morning. I ride home from work in the afternoon. If I go to the grocery store, 9 times out of 10, I take the bike. Every once in a while, I'll take my wife's car, and you know she does her own thing with her vehicle. And so I don't know. It was just I kind of thought about that today, but it was that conversation with a coworker that made me kind of like think about that. And then, as I'm thinking about that, when I'm riding home from work today, which, by the way, those clips that you saw in the beginning of this video, that was me riding home from work this afternoon. I was thinking about, I just hit 75,000 miles on the Hulk. For those of you guys that don't know, the Hulk is my 2009 Harley-Davidson electraglide police edition. And this bike is extremely important to me for a very specific reason. So the more miles that I rack up on it, the more nervous I get about that. And that all has to play in with me using this as my main means of transportation because I'm putting so many miles on this motorcycle every day. But the way I see it is the more you ride the machine's being used. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Yes, things could break because there's more miles, but it's also probably going to perform better than it would if you rode it a couple hundred miles, put it away for, you know, a week or two, then rode it again. And, you know, you let things kind of really cool down, expansion, contraction, all that shit comes into play. For me though, this bike is really important because before I got this bike, I had a 2004 Dyna Wide Glide, which my father had given to me for a birthday present. Now he might see it differently and say, oh, that's not what I did. Because, you know, he's just a tough son of a bitch. That guy just can't be a nice guy or emotional or whatever, right? I'm just kidding. Dad, I love you. We don't even say that to each other that much, but it's just weird. Me and my son, I tell him all the time I love him. Anyway, so for me, this bike means a lot because that wide glide, I'd always said I'm never going to get rid of it. I'm never going to sell it. But then there was a point where I was like really wanting a touring model motorcycle, right? And I really dug the Batwing, really liked the street glides. And my father had found this motorcycle at a dealership in Michigan, said, hey, you got to come check it out. Come look at it. I'm looking at it. And as I'm looking at it, I could tell that he's like showing this to me and pushing this on me and had me drive an hour away from my home to come look at it because he wanted me to get it. So I did the right thing. And I was like, well, Dad, you know, I said I'd never get rid of the wide glide. Would you have a problem with me trading it in? And he goes, no, not at all. This is a much better bike for you, for your age. And, you know, it's better weather-wise. You can ride on it longer distance. And he was right. I mean, he was absolutely 100% correct. Don't get me wrong. The Dyna, I love wide glides. I love Dynas. They're great motorcycles. But you can take long road trips on them and be comfortable, but not as comfortable as you can be on this bike. And then like the newer touring models, holy shit, man. Those things. But having said that, the reason I don't chase after these newer bikes, it's not only because I don't have enough of this at the moment, but it's also because they're cool and everything, but they don't have the meaning that this bike behind me has. Like when I retire the Hulk from me riding it, I want to give it to my son Kendall when he's of age to ride and have this be his first bike. I think electraglide, street glides, road glides, I think Those are all great beginner bikes. I don't think they're bad beginner bikes at all. So as I'm racking miles up on this bike, it kind of affects me a little bit differently because I'm taking, in my eyes, life away from, you know, what this thing is and what it means to me. But also at the same time, this motorcycle right here is getting me through some of the toughest times I have ever experienced in my life. Can you relate? Do you have a vehicle or a bike? Do you have a motorcycle that did that for you? Leave a comment below if you do. I'm sure there's some of you out there that do. And it's kind of changed my perspective on riding motorcycles and being a biker. So, you know, I don't know. The whole point of me doing this video was mainly to, like, I guess, apologize to anybody that's watched a video that I may have offended, saying like, oh, this is my only means of transportation. I ride my bike to and from work and this, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. I'm not trying to be like Mr. Big Badass Robbie the Biker. I'm just explaining facts. It is what it is. And I don't think you have to ride your motorcycle to and from everywhere you go within your life to call yourself a biker. If you have a bike and you get out on the weekend, if you live out of, like, you know, an RV or a fifth wheel or something like that, or a toy hauler, and you've got that thing in the back, and, you know, that's your means of transportation from, you know, the towns and stuff that you go visit when you're not pulling your trailer with your truck, you're a biker. If you get on your motorcycle and you ride it, you know, on the weekend once or twice, you're a biker. In my eyes. I mean, that's just how I see it. So, but maybe that's something I need to work on, right? Like, just not giving a shit about any of this stuff. Like, why should I care what you think about how I explain something to you or present it? I don't know. The biker community is weird like that in a lot of ways. There's a lot of different things that go on that I disagree with, but for the most part, I'm cool with it. If you've never ridden a motorcycle before, I think it's something that you should indulge in at least once in your life. Like, if you have the means to get a bike, even if you rent one, like, go rent a bike, go ride a motorcycle. They're not hard to learn how to ride, especially if you know how to ride it. If you're, I'm not going to edit that out. Especially if you know how to drive a stick shift. You can pick up riding a motorcycle very, very easily. I'm not going to edit that out either. These damn bugs. But I think, like, anybody and everybody that has the ability or has the means to do it should do it, because it's, I got to tell you, man, it's a very visceral experience. And when I have a bad day and I get on the Hulk, which is every day, and ride it, that stuff kind of like goes away. I really think that's why, since I've been back home after dealing with the whole situation with losing my aunt and going through all that, man, that was so rough. It was so rough being there and going through all that. I'm glad I was. And I am, again, completely honored that she wanted me there, because at the end of the day, I would never have imagined in a million years that I would have been one of the people she would have wanted at her deathbed, helping her go through that. So, but man, it was really rough for me while on the plane going there, while I was there, while on the plane ride back. Terrible, awful, god awful. But then every day since, I mean, I've been on my bike every day, and I just tend to think about, like, good shit when I'm on my motorcycle. So that's another reason why you should ride a bike. If you've never done it before, you should get a bike and ride it, because it just helps you out with everything, man. Wind therapy is a real thing. I swear to God, every single time I film a video in this garage, that fucking train, just kidding, you guys, I love you. Transportation, I'm in transportation, so got to give a shout out to transportation, whether they're truck drivers, railroad, whatever it may be. That's the lifeblood of our economy and our way of life, right? Not for those people, we wouldn't be able to enjoy the creature comforts that we have. Speaking of which, I've mentioned him before, I'll mention him again, because he's one of the individuals that I've established a relationship with through YouTube that has been awesome. We'll just, like, talk to each other over the phone now and just bullshit about stuff. It's kind of funny. Ken, Lone Cowboy Adventures. Good dude. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to his channel. He's a good dude. Go check him out. He is a truck driver. So give some love and support to truck drivers. And obviously give all the love and support to our veterans, our military, our men and women that are serving this amazing country of ours, because they are the ones that give the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to, you know, set cameras up and talking to them and upload videos and reach the masses. So at any rate, you guys, thank you for listening to me ramble on about this. I'm going to watch this video back. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just upload it. I just won't even watch it, because if I watch it, it's going to be hard as hell for me not to edit it. And thanks for listening to me ramble. All about the ride, all about the adventure. Super excited to get back into everything motorcycles and all that shit. And the video coming out on Sunday for the giveaway and the product review and benlari and yada, yada, yada. Stay safe out there. Later. Did you guys really think I was going to leave without hitting you with the punch out again? Nah, it's not going to happen.